Sweet memories. There are moments from childhood that still make our hearts beat faster. Moments that make us wish we could turn back time, even for just a second. Is it the innocence we miss, or is it that feeling of being carefree and safe? Today we're going on a short mental journey back to those simple days, and along the way your choices will reveal more about you than you might expect. Let's begin. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you're walking down a familiar street from your childhood. At the end of the road, there's a small neighborhood candy shop. You step inside, the air smells sweet, and the shelves are filled with candies you recognize. There are chocolate bars, chewing gum, and all the colorful sweets from your childhood. Some are neatly arranged on shelves. Others are piled high in baskets. Some are inside big glass jars just waiting to be picked. Now for your first question. Which candy do you choose first? And more importantly, why did you choose it? Take a moment. It could be the one that was your favorite, the one with the coolest wrapper, or the one you always wanted but never got. Think about the reason behind your choice. The reason matters more than the candy itself. Once you have your answer, hold on to it. We'll come back to it later. As you're walking around the shop choosing your sweets, you hear the jingle of the bell on the door. You look over and notice a group of children outside, just about to enter. Here's your second question. How many children walk into the shop? Don't overthink it. Don't try to be logical. Just go with the first number that pops into your head. It could be 1, 3, 10, or even 0. Whatever number feels right to you, that's your answer. You've finished your shopping and head home with a small paper bag full of your favorite candy. You can't wait to enjoy your treats. As you sit down and open the bag, you notice something unexpected. The kind shop owner added a few extra candies into your bag, just as a gift. It's a nice little surprise. So, for your third question, how many extra candies did the shop owner give you? Again, just go with your gut feeling. What number comes to mind? 1, 5, a whole handful? Lock in your answer. Now for the final part of our journey. Imagine this. You have your bag of candy, including the extra ones from the shop owner. You look at them, but then you decide to give them away to someone. Here is your fourth and final question. Who would you give your candies to? It could be a family member, a friend, a partner, or maybe even a stranger. Or perhaps you decide to keep them for yourself. Who is the first person that comes to mind? All right, are you ready for the results? This sweet memories scenario reflects how much care, attention, and support you expect from others, and how dependent or independent you truly are. Let's break down your choices. Let's start with the first question, the candy you chose. The candy itself and your reason for choosing it represents what you desire most from others in a relationship. If you chose a candy because it had a surprise or a toy inside, you likely value gifts and tangible gestures deeply. You might place a lot of importance on receiving something concrete as a sign of affection. Just be careful not to focus too much on material expressions of care, as they aren't the only way people show love. If you chose a candy purely because of its taste or a sense of nostalgia, you are seeking affection, warmth, and emotional comfort. You long for the kind of unconditional care and safety you might have received in childhood. You value emotional connection above all else. And if your choice was based mainly on the appearance or the packaging of the candy, you may rely heavily on first impressions and external beauty. You're drawn to things that look good on the surface. This is a good reminder that what truly matters is often what's beneath the surface, in people and in life. Next, let's look at the second question. The number of children you saw entering the shop. This number represents how many people you truly rely on in your life, your inner circle of support. Most people imagine between 1 to 5 children. This number reflects a healthy emotional support system. You have a few close people you can count on. If you imagine more than 5 children, it might suggest you feel overwhelmed by your connections or are still searching for your own independence. You might feel like you have a lot of people around you, but you're not sure who to truly lean on. And if you imagine no children at all, it might be a sign that you've become too isolated. It could be a good time to think about opening up and letting more people into your life. We all need support sometimes. Now for the third question, the number of extra candies the shop owner gave you. This number represents how much care and attention you still expect from a parental figure, even as an adult. If you imagine just 1 or 2 extra candies, it suggests you have a good sense of emotional balance. You appreciate care, but you don't feel an overwhelming need for it. You found a healthy level of independence. However, if you imagine 10 or more extra candies, it might indicate a strong attachment and a lingering need for the kind of nurturing you got as a child. This could be a sign that it's time to focus on growing more independent and self-reliant. Finally, the 4th question: who you gave the candy to. The person you chose represents someone you either want to care for or someone who is already dependent on you in some way. If you chose to give the candy to a parent, it suggests long-standing and deep emotional bonds. Your family ties are incredibly important to you. If you chose a partner or a crush, it might indicate a level of romantic idealization. You see this person as someone to nurture and shower with affection. If you decided to give the candy to no one at all, it points to a highly independent mindset. You're self-sufficient, but be mindful of the risk of emotional isolation.